You are welcome to yet another grand episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. In the wake of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, which was largely a defamation video production that paraded multiple women to speak negative of the R&B King, making all kinds of false allegations, we saw a number of accusers come forward, each with a unique story of what R. Kelly allegedly did to them. Shockingly, this long list of women also included his ex-wife and mother to his 3 children, Andrea Kelly, who, while crying crocodile tears, also suggested R. Kelly almost killed her at the back of his Hummer back in the years. Most of these allegations have been challenged in and out of court, with some women such as Lisa Van Allen, Kitty Jones and Ashanti McGee dropping off the list of victims, and others like Lanita Carter learning later that the government was actually not interested in giving them their day in court when they preferred to drop charges than ruin their already smuggled victories against R. Kelly. Among the many women who were lined up to accuse R. Kelly in this documentary, though, and later in court, were some with whom the R&B King had actually reached a settlement agreement out of court, and that received hundreds of thousands of dollars as closure, but did not hesitate to appear on the show and make fresh accusations against him. As though to assume that settlements out of court are not legally recognized as binding, these same women who cited an opportunity to make even more money extorting R. Kelly did return with the Surviving R. Kelly documentary wave and made fresh accusations. Examples of these include accusers such as hair braider Lanita Carter, record company intern Tracy Sampson, and several others who had made it a business to get R. Kelly to be with them and later on use it to demand lots of money from him in a sort of get-rich-quick bonanza. On record, Lanita Carter, who was once R. Kelly's hair stylist, had already pocketed close of $750,000 as settlements negotiated by her attorneys, but she did not hesitate to make a return in hope to receive even more money from her newfound cash cow. How she managed to spend close to $1 million over a few years and remain in negatives as to lose the house she was buying in a foreclosure is still hard for many to contemplate. But as they say, money obtained through such falsehoods will never stay long on one's bank account. As for Tracy Sampson, the record is that she received over $250,000 after suing R. Kelly as an adult of sound mind and blew it all up chasing after boys. When she heard of the documentary, she felt the need to return with even more claims, hoping the world would not know she too had agreed to a major settlement. The pending question many ask is whether these out-of-court settlements actually do hold meaning, and why they have constantly been ignored by court when handling the case against R. Kelly. Shouldn't these be legally binding? Why would anyone who settled out of court return with the very same claims, tarnishing defendant's name in the media, and demanding for even more compensation through freshly filed lawsuits? And most of the cases filed against R. Kelly by these multiple accusers had actually been previously resolved, but for some reason they were brought back to bite him, like the court does not understand the meaning of these settlements and previously acquitted lawsuits. By law, when an accuser agrees to a settlement out of court, they agree that their case is fully settled and they do not have any further claims against the defendant. And this is supposed to be legally binding to prevent any future withdrawals unless one of the parties did not meet their settlement obligations. The moment both parties meet these obligations, the matter quickly exits the court's jurisdiction, and court has no right to meddle in the matter again, for the suit has been withdrawn voluntarily by the accuser. These women were given a platform regardless, and they did not hesitate to use it to accuse R. Kelly of this and that, only leaving out the part where they blackmailed him for hundreds of thousands of dollars and how they managed to waste all the money before returning for more. This is the part that is always left out by these women, the part they are probably not very proud of, for it exposes what kind of people they truly are, and how they looked at dating R. Kelly as their one-way ticket to financial freedom, like they had won a lottery. How extortion has always been their agenda, and how they will do anything to get even more money from him, as though to suggest he works for them and none else but them. It's no wonder, after the government had managed to smuggle a few wins here and there from both the New York and Chicago case, they wanted nothing to do with some of their other accusers, such as Lanita Carter, who was denied her day in court. They could not afford to mess up their already smuggled wins that they never would have secured if the courts had been fair. The government had already broken the laws multiple times, placing charges with expired statutes of limitations, trying the same person for same charges multiple times in an act of double jeopardy, presenting so many uncharged accusers in an act of prejudice, and illegally accessing R. Kelly's restricted prison communications to use them in witness tampering among many others. They didn't find it worth it adding Lanita Carter's already settled cases to the list, and so they dropped her charges. While the government may boast that by locking up R. Kelly they saved the world or served justice to all these women, what they have truly achieved is the miseducation of the multiple young women out there to imagine that one can actually make a living off dating men like R. Kelly, and later on suing them for all kinds of charges even if there is no evidence to prove these allegations. Why should a young woman go to school and spend years working for good grades when Azriel Clary alone was granted a whooping $300,000 for betraying her boyfriend, and for listening to her wicked mother who mentored her into pleasing men and luring them into her cloths, only to later blackmail them for money? Why should the young women listen to parental advice anymore? Yet the opposite of what good parents advocate for is what's working for these accusers. And when it comes to Tracy Sampson's case, what was a 16-year-old doing at a record label as an intern if she really had parents or proper guardians as expected? And why would she return to the media accusing R. Kelly of this and that, yet she agreed to a settlement when she was 18 and an adult of sound mind? According to Maria Levinsky, it has always been about the money for these multiple accusers and for their parents too. For example, Tim Savage, who invested much of his time and energy fighting R. Kelly, is now slowly shifting goalposts and exposing the conspiracy in bits only because his daughter was left out of the race for financial gain. Off the list of beneficiaries, he is now talking too much and exposing some of their conspiracies not because he had a change of mind but a change of pockets instead. It's therefore not so strange that these women who already settled out of court will try and take another shot at replacing the monies they put to waste. They wanted money then, they want money now. People don't change overnight. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.